Hello, and welcome to another episode of Creating Cultures That Outperform. Hard to believe, but we're already on episode 14 of our series on workforce productivity. I hope you've been tuning in. It's a great series. I think nothing is more important than this at this moment in time. CEOs globally believe about 40% of the work in their companies is just wasted productivity. It's actually higher. It's even worse because leaders don't understand the human factors of productivity. And for that reason, they don't know how to actually create a more productive work environment. That's why we are putting this series on for you. Hi, I'm Frank Wander. I'm the founder and CEO of People Productive. And I'm here with my incredible co-host, Terry Mays, a certified culture engineer. And today, we're going to have a little fun talking about fun at work.
Talking about fun.
Yes, fun is just so important and was so ripped out of companies during the industrial era, they've never been able to put it back,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And, if you go back to the revolutionary era, pre-industrial, American Revolution with all the small craft shops and stuff, people had fun. They had much more fun. They were more relaxed. They had work-life balance. The industrial era just absolutely flattened it all, destroyed it.
Yeah.
So I think
Well,
having a
fun,
fun culture really matters,
it,
Tara?
it really does. If fun is one of those indicators, if people are not having fun at work, then it's a signal to you to let you know that your culture is suffering. If people feel like they just have to endure the work culture, that
Oh,
they
I
don't
love that word.
enjoy being there, they're just kind of like dragging on. They're watching the clock, waiting for the time and the day to go by because they
Yep.
just want to get it over with. If people feel like that, then they're not bringing their best self to work. You can be assured of that. They are doing the bare minimums to get by, to get it over with. They want to be done with it. And so if your people are not having fun, then you really do have to look at yourself as a leader to say, how can I fix this culture? How can I help this be a place where people feel more connected? Because truthfully, when you can have fun with people, it's a sign of connection. It
Yeah.
shows that, people have made some connections with each other. They trust the leadership. So you have to have high trust in an organization for people to start having fun where they feel more
Yeah.
relaxed. They don't feel like they're, have to watch their back, that, people aren't looking out for them. All of these are really just signals to let you know that the company is in trouble. Because when people stop having fun, they don't want to be there. I mean, just think about it. How many times
Oh,
have you stayed in a
true.
place where you didn't have fun? Like you're not going to do that, but only for so long before you're
Yeah.
going to start looking for another place. You're going to look for another team.
I
You're going to
think you just
look for
got
another
the answer
company.
to remote work. They want to bring people back to work. Well, make work more fun than being home alone. I mean, in reality, if they did create hugely fun workplaces, people be like, I'm not working remote. I'm going in. I want to have a good time. They would.
Yeah.
They would
Yeah.
opt in.
You've got to have those connections. People have to be connected. And I've seen some really successful teams that were well connected and remote. So you can do it, but if you really want people to come back into the office, you can't mandate it and say you must go in, because people have learned this new way of work-life balance and they know I can do my entire job from home because we did it, right? So
Yeah,
during COVID, we were forced out of the workplace into our homes, and we realized that we can actually do our jobs without being in the workplace.
absolutely.
So don't try to force it back. But I love your idea of making it a fun workplace. Make it where people want to
Yeah,
be there because they feel like they're missing out on something if they aren't there.
that's right.
And that will force them to want to come in, even if it's just a couple of days a week, to reestablish those connections
Hmm.
and to have some fun. It can't just be about the work. So often we get lost in all of the tasks that need to get completed, and we push people more and more and
Yeah.
more. But you have to balance out the stress of the work with fun. And that's really the way you balance it, is by taking some breaks.
It's super
Having
important. A fun culture is composed of a few things: people having fun, laughter going on in the workplace, some play going on in the workplace. These are all add to a fun culture. And you want people to have fun because it's more productive. They've done surveys on this, significantly more productive. People who have a lot of fun at work report much less anxiety. That means they're under less stress because we know the cortisol is removed from the blood as you start to have fun. Endorphins get released and it just filters that stress out of your body. That means it really prevents burnout. And when you have a place that's fun, there's a lot of humor, people have a better morale. It's a more positive work culture, and you find that people are more motivated in places like that. So, yeah, definitely. If you want to bring them back to work, create a fun workplace. They also did a study, and they found that the size of the bonuses paid to bosses correlated to how much fun was going on in their work environment. So you can see there a direct correlation to business results. They're getting paid a bonus not because they're having fun, because people are performing better, but it just turns out that fun is directly correlated to the performance of the organization. And
Absolutely.
that is pretty amazing. I mean, the fact that
Absolutely.
the fun level of the organization correlated to the amount paid in bonuses. More fun, higher bonuses. So there you go. You don't need to know a lot more about fun than that. I mean, that's all the proof you need. Have fun at work. It's highly productive.
It is highly productive. That laughter you touched on, people having a good time and having fun. And when you hear laughter in the organization, so whether it's, people going by each other's desks or the offices, and you're, just catching up on the family and, what's going on in your personal life, and you hear laughter is contagious.
Oh, it
And
is.
even if you're not a part of that conversation, there's a joy that's released in the atmosphere. And now everything feels a little bit lighter. When you laugh about things, sometimes you have work that needs to get done and it's hard and it's stressful and you have a lot going on at once. But if you can take those small breaks to just have some fun and laugh, that really does relax you and it helps you be more creative. The times that I've been very, very stressed, if I stop and take a break and just kind of relax, think about something, do something funny, use social media to your advantage in this case. How many times have you seen these crazy videos and, you're just laughing your head off about
Yeah,
some crazy thing that somebody has posted on YouTube or on Facebook, Instagram, whatever platforms you have. But let social media help you in that way to release some of that stress. You don't have to
absolutely.
spend hours doing it, spend the 15 minutes or so and then let that be enough. But that's a great way to release some of that stress and help you to think more clearly. One of the things that laughter and kind of like de-stressing does for me is help me to think clearly. When I have things that I need to get
And
done that
that's
I
science, by the way. We know that
yeah,
scientific research has shown that's absolutely the case.
yeah, when I've got stuff that I gotta get done, I
Mhm.
know that I need to think clearly, and the more stressed I get, the harder it is for me to do it. But if I just stop for a minute, relax, laugh a bit, find something funny. I love dad jokes, so I'm always
Yep.
looking for the corniest of jokes, um,
Yeah.
just all the time. So whenever I can do that, then I can relax and I'm able to focus more. My mind is not running all over the place. I can
Hmm.
focus in on what I've got to get done. And 9 times out of 10, I get it done quicker than if I just try to press through it and stay in that stressful state and work. Being more relaxed will give you that clarity, that vision that you need in order to be able to focus on what you need to do and get it done quicker.
Yeah. And look, when you talk about work as a social undertaking, humor creates social connections. People are
Yes.
much more likely to connect to you and want to be friends with you when you're fun. We know that fun improves creativity. They've done plenty of studies on that. People are more flexible. They're more flexible about their decision making. And we know from the studies that fun and humor release serotonin in the brain, which improves focus and objectivity. So it helps people concentrate. So you have better recall, better decision making. You have, better relationships and contacts at the workplace. The science behind having a fun culture is unbelievably rich and deep. There's so much. We could spend hours going through different research studies on this, literally.
Yeah.
And
This is
it's in the
another
sense,
way. Fun is another way too to help people when you're trying to be innovative
yeah,
and you need to think about new ideas and be able to process complex new ideas. Having fun before you do that or in the process of,
mhm,
have a fun way for brainstorming and coming up with new ideas, then that automatically helps you get into a space where you
yeah,
can receive that new information and your mind is clear, your brain is not foggy, you're able to
yes,
actually relax and understand the new idea that's being presented or be more creative and come up with more ideas that are outside the box. But fun is a way that you can do that and make it so that everybody enjoys the process. This is a great space that you can inject fun into reflection periods. So after you complete a release, for example, and you're reviewing what happened, you're trying to decide, what were the best practices. That process can be kind of tedious and boring.
mhm,
But that's a great space where you can inject some fun in, use some fun sticky notes, and let people write things down. Or even if you want to do it virtually, there are tools like Mural you can use, where you kind of have these virtual sticky notes, and you
yeah,
can apply them and have people write their ideas and make things colorful. That's another way to help people feel more relaxed by injecting color and not making things so boring and
yeah.
plain,
Eh,
using images and imagery in your meetings and with conversations. So there are a lot of ways you can do inject fun into things in a little way. Not that it has to be, laugh out loud fun all the time, because then you're never going to get anything done. But
yeah.
there should be some moments throughout the day where people feel energized by what they're doing. And if they don't, they're going to look for another space where they can feel more energized.
Oh, yeah. Hey, look, people, companies where there's a lot of fun have much better Glassdoor ratings, much better. So they're creating a better brand for the public because people go and understand what your culture is by looking at reviews online and things. So
Yeah.
culture is a transparent thing. It's externalized today. Everybody knows how good or bad the culture is. You want to have good culture scores, have more fun.
Yeah.
You want people to collaborate better, have more fun. If you want people to, be able to have better memory recall, have more fun. If you're a fun leader, people perceive you as being a better quality leader. They're more likely to want to follow you. People who are really good at fun, know how to use it as a tool to kind of diffuse tense situations.
Yes.
It gets people to back off and start to have a little more fun. Um, you know, uh, People like managers who have a really good sense of humor, and they feel that those managers provide better opportunities for them. So, just like friendship causes people to be 11 times more engaged at the workplace, humor does the same thing. People become much more deeply engaged with the work. So, they're not only engaged, they're more productive. And you want a workforce that's both productive and engaged. That's
Right.
the goal. It's all about how much you get done, and you get more done by having fun. It's just a fact.
It is.
Simple math equation.
Absolutely. People need those connections. That's one of the things that we strive for most when you look at in just the basic
Yeah.
human needs. People have to have those connections. And fun is a great way to help people create connections.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Well, Terry and I strongly recommend that if you want to build a great culture that is highly productive and you want to increase workforce productivity, build a fun culture. We've been going through all these different tactics for increasing workforce productivity, and these build on one another. You're not going to get to a fun culture till you've gone through a lot of the things we talked about already. You've got to solve the more basic issues that are holding your culture back before people really start engaging deeply in fun relationships with one another. And it's up to the leaders to model this. So we're here every Wednesday at 3 o'clock with another episode. We're moving on to episode 15 next week, which is going to be on the power of appreciation. And appreciative culture is one that is really highly productive as well. People really want to know that people care about them and what they do. They have their best interests at heart. So It's a very important episode. I think you should tune in on that. And if you ever have a question, feel free to reach out to coach@peopleproductive.com. Terry and I will get back to you. And so, we've got a lot more people following the channel now, and it's going up. So I think this is working, Terry. It's all
Yes.
good.
It's so exciting. We'd love to hear from you guys. So really take us up on that offer of reaching out to us at coach@peopleproductive.com. We'd really like to hear from you.
We'd love to hear from you. So look, we'll see you next Wednesday at 3.